attend church. That's me, if I don't go to church. Let's see. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for coming to the main event. Thank you. Give yourself for yourself. Give it up for yourself. Hell yeah. All right. Who has been to the gold line before?
Yeah.
Okay. You are going to have a great time. I can already tell. Let's see. Who has been to the main event before? Okay. How'd you guys find out about the show?
Instagram.
Oh, hell yeah. My Instagram? No, you don't follow me. Not famous enough yet. It's all right. Go fuck myself. It's fine. No, thank you guys so much. This is our 8th show, and that is just amazing. Thank you. Give it up for our 8th show. And happy Pride. Happy Pride. Very honored to be able to do the show here. I want to thank Matt and Nafis who make this possible. Give it up for Matt and Nafis. Wave your hands up. They are just like some incredible people. They're actually starting a nonprofit. You guys are going to be have your status in August. Is that right? Hell yeah. They do a ton for the community. If you guys don't follow them online on Instagram. Look up what they do. Their staff is also amazing. Xavier, he's new. Give it up for Xavier, y'all. Hell yeah. His dad made that necklace. Ask him about it. Xavier, what's good to eat here?
Butter chicken's really good, and the samosas.
Okay, what about the drink?
The pink chai.
You heard it here first, folks, the pink chai. What do you have?
Pizza.
Aloha pizza.
Okay, that's not what he said, but... Aloha pizza, give it up for that guy for his aloha pizza. I'm only gonna ask you guys to clap like 5 or 6 more times. No, thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Samantha Lukasiewicz, and I'm on my period. It's nice to have allies, thank you. I am on my period, and I am so emotional, okay? I'm very emotional. This is very relatable. I see you shaking your head, ma'am, thank you. I was watching these videos of the military families, like, being reconnected with their families. Like, it made me cry, right? My brother's a Marine, like, I'm crying. It makes me want to not have so many abortions. You know what I mean? I didn't enlist. I don't know, I need us now, I don't know. I will tell you, so that is a joke. I'm actually not on my period, but I wanted to tell that joke. I know, got you guys, fooled ya. I told that joke. Sometimes I open with it. Usually during Women's History Month, just because, you know, why the hell not? And a woman came up to me and she was like, "You're on your period a lot, are you okay?" She's like, "I have some literature for you. I think you might have a disease." And vice versa, like I had a guy that I was really interested in, and I had seen him on a Monday. He saw me tell that joke. I saw him on a Thursday. He saw me tell that joke, and he was like, "That's the longest period I've ever." And I'm like, "I don't think you know how periods work. Maybe I'm not interested in you. Maybe you're a dumbass. Maybe that's why there's a male loneliness epidemic." You know what I mean? It's crazy. Let's see. What do I got for you guys? Men, okay. My affliction is I'm a cis white woman, you know? And I don't know if this is like relatable to anybody, but random men will add me on Facebook sometimes. Does that happen to you? That happens to you guys, I'm sure. It happens. I've stopped talking to them. I send them my Venmo. They don't have Venmo. I send them my Cash App. Okay? But then I was like, dang, it hasn't worked yet. So I was thinking, oh, they probably like want something, right? They're not gonna give me something for nothing. So I started an OnlyFans. Thank you. But there's a catch. I'm gonna tell jokes and I'm going to insult men. They're gonna pay me money to insult them. And I would like to practice tonight.
Woo!
I'm looking at you right there.
I'm used to it.
Oh, I have two volunteers. I got this guy in the hat and I got the guy behind him with the beer. Is that right, sir? You both said, well, one is wearing a hat because he's probably bald, right? No? Oh, hell yeah, called it. The other one's a piece of shit. Anyway, that's $20. Each of you, $20. No, I'm bad with money. I'm really bad with money. I went to a financial advisor. Do you guys do that? Do we do that here? No. Okay. Perfect. I went to a financial advisor because I really want to get like my life in order. Okay. I went to a financial, and he's asking me questions. He was like, "Are you married? No. Do you have kids? No. Do you own property? No." Just like hurting my feelings, right? And he's like, "Well, what would you do if like a life event happened, like a heart attack, stroke, natural disaster?" Call my dad? I don't know. Like I'm 38, he still pays my cell phone bill. You know what I mean? He's like, "Well, do you put money away at least?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, $100 like religiously every month." And he's like, "Well, how much do you have?" And I was like, negative $354. So I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. You know why I'm not doing well? Because I like dating older men. And I only date men who are my dad's age and older. And that's a very vulnerable place to be because I like their balls and it's low-hanging fruit, yum, yum, yum. I don't know. Thank you. So I was dating an older man for a very long time. And let me ask you guys, let me ask the audience, how long is too long to be with someone without a real commitment? I don't have a ring, like we don't live together. Like how long is too long?
5 years.
Reasonable. So it's not 13? Shoot, I'll tell him. All right, I'll leave you on this one. I'm a plus size girly. I don't know if you guys can tell. Thick thighs save lives, people! Oh yeah. I drive for Uber. Anybody else? Woo! Okay, that one person. Him and I are coworkers. So I had an older woman. She was a plus size girly. She was in my car and she was in the back seat. I have a Kia Soul, and she like, who has a Kia Soul in here? Yeah, the gay guys. Okay, that's about right. So she was trying to get out of the back of my Kia Soul, very roomy, but she was having a problem. And she was like, you know us big girls and our big feet. When I tell you, I've never turned around so fast and said, "What the fuck did you say to me?" Ma'am, we are not the same. I have dainty feet. Thank you. Can't see them in the back. They're very dainty. They go very well on Feet Finders. Those guys know. Anyway, all right. I'm excited for this show. You all are really in for a treat. The first comic that we have coming up to the stage, I like to offer like a guest spot. So this could be you, this could be you, this could be you, if you do stand up, if you're funny. And he worked the door. Give it up for Chris Schoen, everybody.
I'm also a gay man who drives a Kia Soul. It is the gay material, and yes, I am gay, even though I am currently dressed like I manage an Advanced Auto Parts, but I really, really am. But wait, I only have two types of outfits, and it's either Advanced Auto Parts manager or the brownie paper towel man, and those are what you have for me. And I actually thought, I really want to find somebody who kind of looks like Mr. Clean, so then we can like have the best dirty talk after sex. So it's like we're about to like clean up, right? Like afterwards, like oh, these paper towels, they are so absorbent, but they don't quite get all of the material off the floor. So can you help me, Mr. Clean? And then he's just standing there, and he just pulls out his big, thick magic eraser and just wraps himself around me like Patrick Swayze in Ghost and starts rubbing on the floor, and we just kind of start like just going at it while the store manager at the grocery store is like, "They're back again, and I really need you to come and get them." So I'm single, and thank you. My number's in the bathroom. And I've been single for about 1.5 years now, and I think the worst part about being single, of course, is dating apps. Like, I cannot stand being on dating apps. And the worst part, because this is my pet peeve, even not just on dating apps, but like in general, which is one-word responses from anyone who's texted. Yes, you see that, right? Because it's like, how are you supposed to respond to that? Like, I don't know. Like, here, let me give you an example. I'm gonna say something to you, and all I want you to say is sup. right? Hey. Nothing. Like if anyone did that to you at a bar, you would sit there and go, I gotta cover my drink. Like, I don't know what, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, have a conversation with me. And I think the big reason is that, like, because of talking online for so long, we've lost intention with when we interact with each other. Like, come to me with something, like what you want to talk to me about. Like, do you want to date me? Do you want me to piss in a cup or your mouth? Do you want a cleric for your D&D campaign? Tell me something, because I am a person who knows exactly what I want in this world. I want it so bad, and I am going to do everything to get it. I want 3 things. I want a partner, I want a career, and I want stability.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. So if you're not gonna marry me, fuck me, or get me health insurance, then just leave me alone. All right, so in the bear community, or in the gay community, I am what is considered a bear. And if you are not familiar, a bear is a gay man with sleep apnea. That's really... Well, we are also a gay man who looks like every 90s sitcom dad. So yeah, if you ever were watching those sitcoms and you were looking for a dude, that's me. But when you're on these dating apps and I'm like, I'm a bear, and people are looking and seeing, do I want a bear? Do I want like a twink? Whatever. It makes you have to take inventory of yourself. And I realized that I am not sexy. I am not handsome, but I am cute. And that is a very valuable thing in this world, to be cute. Because I'm always gonna be cute. I am cute now, I'm gonna be cute later. Sexy people will always come at you and say, here is the picture of me when I was sexy. Nay, nay. I will always be cute. Currently, I look like my neighbor Totoro. Like, you want to stand with me at a bus stop with like a rainy umbrella, and it's gonna be great. And I am going to go forward, and I am going to turn into Santa Claus. And then I'm just going to continue to make people happy. Okay, cool. The problem with Santa Claus, like these days, I don't know if you see, is that Santa Claus has slowly gotten thinner and thinner over time in like art, or maybe he's become this swole like muscle guy underneath it, and I am not really all about that. Like, Santa should be chubby, right? Like, it's called a bowl full of jelly, not a thigh full of Ozempic. Okay. Thank you very much, that was my time.
Yeah, keep it going for Chris. Chris, is this your first like book show? Yeah. That's cool.
Somebody say yes.
Yes, all right. Give it up for Chris one more time. It takes a lot of courage, man. That was great. That was incredible. I loved it. Love you, Daddy. All right. Your next comic came all the way from the Big Apple. Was a finalist on Staten Island's Got Talent, hosts his own mic in New York City. Wayne Pezzella, everybody!
I brought too much stuff up here. How's it going, Richmond? Give it up for your host, Samantha. I'm so happy she let me do this. I want to set 2 things straight right away. The first thing is, I only live in Staten Island. I'm from Brooklyn. Let's get that straight. The second thing is, I don't talk like that. That's exhausting. I committed to that bit the moment I walked through the door. I'm sorry if anybody's upset, but yeah. So, yes, I'm from Staten Island. I am a New York City public school teacher, so I'm so happy everybody here is broke, because now I feel like I fit in. Bunch of milestones this year. My 10th wedding anniversary is this year, so that's fun. My dad just had his 70th birthday, so that's kind of cool. For his 70th birthday, he got himself a stroke, and I don't mean a hand job. It's kind of difficult because so we lost him. He insisted on not going to the hospital, and he hid, and we couldn't find him for like an hour. So he's fine, but yeah, we couldn't find him. So he's we lost. That was terrible. Okay. You know, I ran that joke by him before I came, and I got a very mixed reaction, so I should have known not to tell it, because like half his face loved it, but the other half didn't react at all. Oh, shoot. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Yeah, it's fantastic. The school I work at, we had a very successful Pride Month. Our valedictorian was our first openly gay valedictorian, so give it up for that. That was amazing. He's a wonderful young man. I wish him all the luck in the world. The other big success we had was we finally got the kids to stop saying no homo. Yeah. I mean, when I say I can't really take credit because it wasn't us. A hero came along with the strength to carry on. Does anybody know what insecure male students say now instead of no homo?
Pause.
Very homo.
They say no Diddy.
Oh.
Sean Diddy Combs is the hero that the gay community needed. And what makes it worse is our school is 4 blocks away from the federal penitentiary where Diddy is being held right now. And they found this out and they were like, we should go visit. And if they won't let us in, we'll make signs. Maybe he'll see them. And I was like, you want to do what and go see who? I was like, do you know why he's there? And then the ringleader of this group, he just like turns around and he goes, oh yeah. So I probably should have mentioned I work in special education. That makes that joke make more sense. No, but seriously, I work with at-risk teens. We have a variety. I work with learning disabled, emotionally disabled, and the full autistic spectrum. They're very great kids. I love them a lot. I made them a deal. If they do anything or say anything that I can use on stage, I will buy them lunch. Worst mistake in the world. Like, it's absolutely terrible. Because now they all think they're professional comedians, and they don't know social boundaries. So it creates some very odd situations. We have a student with epilepsy. He had a seizure in the classroom. He gets up right away, and he's like, I'm fine, it was just a little one. Another kid comes up to me, and he goes, hey, Mr. P, little seizures, pizza. No, don't laugh, now I have to buy him lunch. Stop. I had another kid, I was showing him how to use the interactive whiteboard, and I was like, no, you don't have to hit the back button. You can just put your hand flat. You can erase whatever you want. He immediately puts his hand on my belly and goes like this. You know, like, stop. Every laugh cost me like $5. I have one kid. He's really reserved and quiet. This is true, and I probably shouldn't say this, but the other kids call him school shooter. He put his hat in the ring for the free lunch. He comes up to my desk and he just leans in and he goes, if you're sick in the head, take a leave. Like take a leave of absence or, okay, thank you. One person. All right. And I think the best one, I bought him lunch right away because this was just fantastic. I was also very insulting. He gave me a fortune cookie, and there's no way he could have known what was inside. So he gives me a fortune cookie. He's like, open it. I was like, okay, I open it. And inside it says, you are a role model. And he goes, hey, that's kind of true. And it just blew me away, right? Like I instantly welled up. It was one of those moments that like a teacher waits forever for. And he's about to leave the room. And he turns back and he says, because you've been modeling them roles, bitch! Yeah, and I have to reward him for that, because you left. So, terrible. The kids are pretty respectful about having a fat teacher. They always do that thing, like, right before they tell a fat joke, they'll just, like, make sure I'm not in the room, so that's good. They started to find me on social media, so that's a problem, because I don't use a stage name. When I ask people suggestions of what I could use as a stage name, it's always some combination of fat and my name, which is already taken by every blues musician in Missouri. So I look up Big Wade, it's taken, okay? Yeah, so I had one idea for a stage. You know, the reason I paused is the last time I told that joke, somebody just yelled out from the back, "You should be Little Seizures." I was just like, now do I have to buy him 2 lunches? I don't know. I had one idea. One idea I had for a stage name comes from my favorite band, the Bare Naked Ladies. You guys know the Bare Naked Ladies? They do the theme song for Big Bang Theory, that whole thing. I love them to death. They're my favorite. And how they got their name was they thought it would be a fun, clever way to trick people into coming into their venues when they were first starting out. So I thought I could do something similar. I could be B-Cup Titties. And I have a one-up. I hate to put down those Canadian sweethearts with voices of silver and gold, but unlike them, mine is not false advertising. Yeah. I kind of wish fat shaming would make a comeback. I know, everybody's confused. Can I tell you something? You guys are nice. In Staten Island, they laugh at that right away. They're freaking jerks, okay? I feel like skinny people from Staten Island have like secret meetings at the salad bar. They're like when can we make fun of them again? This is torture. The reason I say that is because now, like, skinny people just give you advice you didn't ask for. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking around, like some people don't want to wear, there we go, I got somebody to agree with. The gym teacher at work, he's a marathon runner. He comes to my classroom and he hands me a jump rope. I'm like, what is this for, to hang myself? Like, you know? And he goes, no. It's you do a few minutes in the morning, you do a few minutes before your lunch. It's way better for your knees than jogging. It's like, this bitch thinks I've been jogging? What part of this strikes you as a jogger's body? And I'm gonna tell you when he told me that. So he said that on April 3rd, 2024. And the reason I remember that date so clearly is because 2 days later we had that earthquake, and he immediately texted me and goes, "I'm gonna need that jump rope back." I was like, I thought about going right into the gym to defend myself, but could you imagine if there was an aftershock at that exact moment? I would have been so embarrassing. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much. I've been B-Cup Titties. No Diddy. All right.
Comedian is a regular performer, producer at Coalition Theater, does a lot of improv, Taskmasters, Jane Austen. Give it up, start clapping for Liz Davenport! Thank you. Happy Pride! Woo! Honestly, thank God it's almost over. My fingers are hurting, so just been cramping up. I need a break, you know? I had sex with a man for the first time a few weeks ago. I got it in May 31st, so it's okay. It's all above board. And I don't know what everybody's talking about. I had a lot of fun, you know? Obviously I didn't come, but like, I had fun from like an anthropological standpoint. Just looking around his apartment. Like, you live like this? 8 empty LaCroix next to 2 empty Zins. I had my location turned on, don't worry. I have good shoes on for running. It was fine, But I'm not gonna do it again. It did remind me that I personally think we should bring back natural selection, you know, just for the benefit of society. If you've ever lived with a straight man, I think you'd understand. I walked into the kitchen once with an old roommate. I'm so sorry, are you guys all wearing matching shirts?
Let's say the Phoenix Gimps.
It's not a sex thing.
Okay, it's definitely a sex thing. Okay, thanks for letting me interrupt. How dare you interrupt my set with such an interesting shirt? Yes. You will rise again. Okay. Yeah, I believe in natural selection. Because I walked into the kitchen with a straight male roommate that I had, and he was carrying a tray of baked triangles, and I was like, "Oh, what did you make?" I was like, "What cultural delicacy have I never seen before?" He didn't know you had to roll up crescent roll dough into a crescent roll shape in order for it to bake as a crescent roll. And if this were any other century, he would be long dead. Right? Like, he would have been eaten by a lion. Emotionally, he should have died in the Great Molasses Flood of 1919, which is real and absolutely terrifying. But he's alive, and I hope I never see him again. Thank you, thank you. Anyone see any hairy assholes lately? To me, it's like dropping like really good food on the ground. It's like nice try, but I'm still gonna eat it. You're not gonna stop me, bitch. I am bisexual. Yeah, and I hate that people accuse bisexuals of, doing it for the attention. Because I have no defense. Obviously, I love attention. I'm up here dressed as a goddamn toddler. I have fucking bunnies in my hair. I love attention! So maybe that's why I don't actually like women. I'm just kidding. There's none here, so it's fine. What's with the meat fest? What the hell? But I would like to wish a happy Pride specifically to one of the kids I nanny. Not that, I can tell that she's gay, but I can tell if your kids are gay, They just have a vibe. But she drew a picture of like a little clown, and the clown had pink hair. And I was like, "Is that me?" And she's like, "I don't know." And then she like wrote some letters, because she's like learning to read and write. And she's like, "What does it say?" And I look at this picture of a clown that looks exactly like me. And I proudly say, "It says homo." Because that's what she wrote. And she goes, "Oh, homo." And I was like, "Yep, that's me." I see it all the time, obviously, babies with pacifiers in their mouth. It makes me feel so smart, because I'm like, that's not a boob. You guys are idiots. Okay, I'm not gonna fall for that trick. I can tell the difference between a boob and a pacifier. Just test me. Just test me. I know which one to put my mouth on, okay? Laugh harder. That's a little funny. You can't laugh. I don't believe in child psychologists. I don't think they should exist. Why would you give that baby an office? That's malpractice. I have a problem, all my exes are juggalos. They just love this insane clown pussy. The thing about being gay that nobody says is, besides like discrimination, that's bad, whatever. More importantly, your crushes can like each other. Which is honestly fucked up, right? Like, that's not advertised whenever they pull up the gay agenda and they get you to sign your life rights away. Nobody says that your crushes can like each other, and the worst part is, I don't know how to play Magic the Gathering, so I can't be Polly. So I'm just screwed, or more accurately, not getting screwed. It's fine. I do like men. I like them, but in the same way that I like the dentist. Yeah, it's like not at the top of my list, but like every 6 months or so, you just gotta get drilled, right? I have lost a few crushes because I saw a man consume dairy. Like, there was a guy I had a crush on, and I watched him drink 2 glasses of milk with his lunch. Not a cookie in sight. Just 2 glasses of milk. And then I watched a grown-ass man shotgun 3 Go-Gurt tubes back to back like some foul dairy dementor. Why does that happen? That's too much power. I like to call my, somebody was asking like if you've ever named your butthole, if that's a thing. I haven't. If you have, that's so sick. I have named my vagina Sasquatch though, because it's big and hairy and no one ever sees it. Then maybe I'll name my butthole something inspiring. Do you have any suggestions?
Maya Angelou.
I'm gonna name my asshole Maya Angelou. That seems appropriation. But maybe I could do it. Who knows? I'm so sorry, everyone. I told this joke once, and my mom was like, she was in the audience, and she's like, I actually can't look at seafood the same way again, because you know you try to masturbate when you're drunk, and it sucks, right? It's kind of like eating crab legs, you know? It's like you're 5 minutes in, your fingers are hurting, and you're like, is it even worth it? And the smell is awful. And you're covered in butter. Like, what is that? So yeah, my mom sends me a picture every time she's eating crab legs now. She's like, thinking of you. And I don't know if I like that. Okay. One thing about me is that I am absolutely obsessed with minor league baseball, specifically the Flying Squirrels. I actually, thank you. Let's go nuts. I actually work there now, and I run in the nut race as Johnny Cashew sometimes, and I lose, don't worry. But I love it because it's just theater, okay? These men in their 20s with their dreams dashed because they're in Richmond, Virginia playing baseball, are wearing their little costumes, and they go out to play their 5th game this week against the Akron Rubber Ducks. And they pretend that there are stakes to the game. And I'm in between innings, running around in a hamster ball, while they are mourning the loss of their athletic career. And they give everything they've got. So when you go through the squirrely gates, you sit down, you eat your squirrely fries, you are not just someone going to a baseball game. You are a patron of the arts. And in that, art shall always live free. I'll leave you with one truth. Don't date men if you work with kids, because you already have enough people in your life who don't know how to wash their own ass. Thank you so much. I've been Liz. Give it up for Liz. Woo! Speaking of truth, do you guys know how to wipe your own ass? Oh, 2 bidets. Oh, shit. Okay. All right, your next comedian is the co-producer of the show. Does anyone have tattoos in here? Hell yeah. I have I counted the other day, I have 31.
And this, I know, you can't see them, right? You can see them later though. Your next producer is on 10 of my tattoos and give me 1 million laughs. Give it up for Jensen.
Is everybody enjoying the show so far? Yeah? Can I get a little bit more energy? Is everybody enjoying the show so far? It's been a good show. It's been a good show. Because Sam brought it up, yes, my professional job is to stab people for a living. And people pay me a lot of money to stab them repeatedly over and over again. And it's a hard job, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to stab folks around here. More people should be stabbed. If you haven't been stabbed, you should be stabbed. Yeah, this man has been stabbed. A lot of people in a Wingstop like to accost me and be like, do you stab for a living? And I'm like, yeah, I do. What about me makes you think that I stab for a living? And they're like, you're covered in stab wounds. And I'm like, that's also true. But I was in a Wingstop, and this was during my like pre-professional stabbing, so I was only apprentice stabbing. And this man was like, oh, you stab for a living? And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to, I'm trying to make a living. He fully takes off his shirt. I'm in a Wingstop in Hampton. If anybody takes off their shirt in a Wingstop in Hampton, you need to leave. But I did not know this. I just moved here. I didn't know Hampton like that. And this man fully took off his shirt. He was like, yeah, I got this lion and a rose, which none of those objects that were on his skin looked like that. So I was like, I believe you. I believe that you paid money for that thing that you have there. And he's like describing it to me. He's like, what would you do to make it better? And I was like, I would just take the whole thing off. Like, I would just stab you differently. We can do a bunch of stabbing so it's all black there and you don't have to look at it ever again. And then he was like, do you think this is cancer? And I was like, I'm not a doctor. I just stab people for a living. I don't have a doctorate degree. It's really trial and error. Trial and stabbing. We figure it out as we go. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that stabbing content. It doesn't pierce every time. Hey. Happy Pride. I know every other comic has said it. Yeah. I am also a bear in the gay community. I mean, I'm a gay in a bear community. Sorry. It's a very different distinction. My pronouns are he, and ha interchangeably. Please use those when addressing me. I had a weird moment, this very transphobic moment this morning. I am a dyke. I identify as a masculine person with a vagina. Yeah. So sometimes I'm like, and then I go like this, and then I also want to go like this. So it's really hard on me. But I had like a really transphobic morning where I looked in the mirror and I was just like, I'm armed! Because I looked so masculine. I was like, who is this man in my house? And I'm like, oh, it's me. It's me. I'm the man in my house. But it's weird though, out here being trans and gay. I was in a Harris Teeter's, and I'm just waiting in line, minding my gay business. I don't know what you straights do at a Harris Teeter's. I don't watch y'all. I don't police anybody like that. So I'm just standing in line, and this woman taps me on the shoulder, and she's like, "My son is trans." Oh. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, do you think you're gonna get this surgery? And now I'm like fully turning to her, because I'm like, you're not my doctor. Like, sometimes I get mistaken for a doctor, but I know for sure, Susan, you are not a doctor. And I go, do you mean the mastectomy, the hysterectomy, or the lobotomy I'm about to give myself in this fucking Harris Teeter's because you asked me this crazy fucking question? She's like, I'm just trying to be inclusive. I was like, include yourself out of this conversation, okay? You know nothing about my medical history, lady. Unless you're gonna pay for the surgery, give me money. You should give trans people money during Pride. I mean, that's not a political statement, that's just, I'm poor. Stabbing takes, not a lot of people can afford stabbing right now, so it's a rough life out here. So if you got $250 and you're looking for a good stabbing, I'm up the street, okay? I'm on the corner of the street holding a knife, ready for you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for laughing with me, and thank you guys for being here today. That's my time. My name is Jensen. I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Hell yeah, give it up for Jensen. on Juneteenth, we have a group chat, and our trans friend gave our black friend $50. That is a true statement. He gave our black friend Erica $50. I just had to apologize for slavery, but it's fine. It's fine. All right, y'all, you having a good time? Hell yeah. Yeah, everyone's very funny. I'm very happy to introduce your next comedian, hosts an open mic at the Hoff every other Wednesday. Let's get it loose. Florence J. Foley,
I always fuck up the handshake. I never know what to do. My friends call it autism. I figured out, fun fact, earlier this week, the opposite of autism is altism, which just sounds like you have all the autism to me. Okay, cool. What's going on over here? We on a date? No?
We're married.
You're married? Oh, why did you shake your head no?
Just a fun night.
But that's not a date? Okay, yeah, married people can go on dates. You all, this seems like an obvious question. You all straight? Okay, no, we don't have to get into it. We don't have to get into it. It's Pride Month, we don't have to get into it. Do you, either of you know how to shuffle? Yeah? You were more confident with it. Take that for me, please. Sorry for the interrogation. That was rude and inappropriate. You've shuffled cards before? How would you rate yourself as a card shuffler? 1 to 10. 10 being 7, maybe? Okay, cool. I don't know why this is interesting to me. I'm gonna tell a couple jokes that aren't in there while you do that. Can you do me a favor, just count out loud what shuffle you're on, and when you get to a nice prime number, I'll stop you? Cool. What are you on right now? 3, perfect. I fucked up, everybody. I signed a suicide pact with Schrodinger's cat. Is this the spotlight? Yeah, I signed a suicide pact with Schrodinger's cat. I really want to do the right thing, but I don't know if he's gone through with it yet or not. It's a physics joke. Are you still on 3? No, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not gonna force anybody to do anything. J.K. Rowling gets a lot of flack for being transphobic, and she should. She's very transphobic. But there's far more transphobic figures in the fantasy genre. Example A, Gandalf. His most famous line is, "You shall not pass." I know. Hey, if I say anything that offends anybody tonight, please come up to me after the show and say, "Hey, you were hilarious." I've seen all the research. I agree. You should never shake your baby. I agree. It's a bad idea. But I have a problem. My baby is stuck in a yoo-hoo. I don't know how to get them out. This one just says eggs, milk, bread. I don't... Oh, sorry, that's not a joke. That's my suicide note. If I masturbate for charity, does that count as an honorable discharge? Yes? Okay, so I can write it off on my taxes. Cool. They say when you get nervous on stage, I don't want to do that one. Do you all remember, I think it was during Obama's first term, Bush's second, when somebody found an image of Jesus on their toast. You remember this? It was all over the news, went on eBay and all that shit. The same thing happened to me just the other day, but it was an image of the Prophet Muhammad. I don't have anything to compare it to, but I'm pretty sure. I can't tell, when that joke does or doesn't do well, I can't tell if it's because there's no Muslim people in the audience or because everyone's Muslim in the audience. I should hand out surveys. Some people say all cops are bastards. I don't like saying all cops are bastards because my uncle's a bastard and he's never killed any black people. So it's not fair to him. I've been hanging out in my above ground basement with my imaginary friend state representative, and I'm trying to get him on board with UBI, Universal Basic Income, we hip? Yeah? Trying to get him on board with UBI. Every time I bring it up, he just goes, Universal Booby Inspectors. I know, I can't even believe in that guy. Some people think I'm weird. Some people think I'm strange. I'm not. I'm just like everybody else in this room. I have a glove box. And of course, in my glove box, there's a box. And of course, in that box, there are gloves. But where I am different from everybody else in this room is my glove box gloves or boxing gloves. Shock, and all. I like that response. I know nobody's ever going, the scandal. I'm always getting pegged as somebody who would enjoy anal. Really, in this room, that soft-ass response, that's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't think I had to explain that one in this room. We will. We'll go into it later. I'll be out front. This is my impression of somebody being surprised to hear that Sean Combs urinated. P. Diddy. Y'all ever be pissing and shitting everywhere, and you're just like, God damn, there should be a room for this. Some people aren't laughing. I don't. What do you do? It's. Well, don't be quiet. Is there a room for this? I'm pissing and shitting everywhere. I don't know. I was weaving while, yes, I just got a yes. I'm gonna skip that joke. And that one. Oh, this one's good. Yeah, not all of these are good, believe it or not. A lot of it's fluff. My last porn search, to give you an idea where my love life is at, my last porn search was people who care about each other. No, there were some pretty good ones. Nice and it was all AI, but this homeless man walked up to me the other day, and he goes, "How do you know I'm homeless?" I said, "How do you know I'm talking about you?" He said, "'Cause you're speaking into a microphone." I said, "Yeah, but in the future." Some of these are just supposed to cause aneurysms. I don't. My friend is a sous chef, but he doesn't like when I call him that. He's like, "That's very disrespectful when you call me a sous chef. I spent years in school. I passed multiple exams. I'm a lawyer, goddammit." My partner keeps bringing spaghetti into the bedroom, and it's like, yeah, I asked for more news, but it's got to be Lau Mein. The original noodle? I don't know if that's true. Does anyone know if that's true? The original noodle? That was my nickname in high school. I'm in a feud with my mail carrier. The person who carries my mail, and so I've been mailing myself anthrax. And whenever I get it, I just write "return to sender" on it. And one of us is gonna fuck up. My dog keeps trying to gaslight me. He keeps telling me I did 9/11. But here's the thing. He sang it in classical Latin. So of course, I'm spending all day on the phone with Catholic priests, but none of them will get involved unless there's clearly a possession. And I was like, yeah, I already told you, it's my dog. I've been reading this really interesting book about nihilism. It's called. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I'll leave you all with this one. I'm one of those queer people, and I like sports. Yeah, thank you for the whoop for queer. Or was it for sports? Queer, okay. Yeah, I'm queer and I like sports. I don't understand all the sports terminology like straight people will put onto like sexuality and stuff. Sometimes when somebody's bisexual, they'll be like, oh, they play for both teams. In what sport is that allowed? Can you imagine if in the middle of a Lakers game they call a timeout and LeBron James is like, you know what? That other team over there, they've got some attractive players. They got some interesting forms of penetration. I think I'm gonna go play for that team. Never, not once. And I think as a trans person, I think more trans people should watch sports, would appreciate sports. If you listen to any sports podcasts, you'll hear athletes talk about their welcome to the league moment, right? And that is something I personally, as a trans lady, can relate to. Because a few weeks ago, for the first time in my life, I was getting a lift on the way to work, and guy started getting creepy. I was worried I was going to get kidnapped. First time in my life, I was like, oh no, I'm in danger. I could be harmed right now. And I was like, oh, I made it to the league. The other thing, sometimes people will say pitcher and catcher, right, in certain relationships, and that doesn't make sense. If you see the way a pitcher and catcher interact during a game, it's always the catcher going, oh, these shorts are real short, I don't know if I can. It's always the catcher going, hey, will you give it to me like this? I would love it if you gave it to me like this. And then the pitcher goes, no, try again. Catcher goes, okay, well, if not like that, maybe a little this. Can you give me a little this? Pitcher goes, mm-mm. Maybe when the next guy comes up with a bigger bat, I'll give you a little bit of that, okay? And then the catcher goes, okay, well, I know this is what you wanted the whole time, and I was holding out, but what about a little bit of this? Pitcher goes, all night, baby. That's been my time. Thank you so much. Please bring Samantha back up to the stage.
Individuals. Your next comedian hosts an open mic at Basic City every other Wednesday. Have you ever thought about doing comedy stand-up? You? All right, good. All right. Give it up for Blake Carlson, everybody!
Hi guys, this is awesome. I love this. So we're getting to the end of June. Pride Month is coming to an end.
Woo!
Fucking excuse me. And I know that person's not straight, so that's even extra confusing. She's playing for both teams. That's I don't know. So Pride Month is coming to an end, and I've been thinking, and I am straight, so maybe I can put in a good word, and we can just run this shit back in July. I think Pride Month should be like a leap day. Just every 4 years we get an extra one. I mean, it's always more fun in June. I saw a double rainbow, for real. It was one of the best days of my life. Jensen earlier mentioned during Pride Month, giving money to trans people. I've started buying them guns. Yeah, it's important work. It really is. And I like to say that up top, just to let any undercover bigots in the audience know that we will pull up, okay? And we'll do some surgery on that top, motherfucker. We'll do it. Gender fluid everywhere, trust me. I'm a calm guy, okay? I keep it on me, but it's, safety's on. I'm chill, okay? I'm the kind of guy that spends a nice night to himself and calls it a me-evening. That's Blake, all right? My friends, I have fun friends. They're like, come out, drink with us, shoot some pool, play some darts. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm having a me-evening, okay? They're like, what about tomorrow? And I'm like, ugh, I should have told you. It's a full weekend. I apologize. Yeah, tonight I'm watching Labyrinth, and tomorrow I'm making a puppet. I'm booked. It's tough. I don't know. I'm nervous. I mean, I'm calm on the surface, nervous inside. I mean, anyone who spends the time to make a puppet is looking for some kind of control, we can admit. But when I was younger, I think I dealt maybe with my anxiety a little bit better, than I do now. Like I would suck on my fingers when I was younger. Not even my thumb, my fingers. Like I would suck on these 3 fingers. Because I can take more than 2, okay? Trust, I can do. But I sucked on these 3 fingers as a 6-year-old so much and so often that I had to go to the hospital and get my tonsils taken out. And now, I can suck on them all I want. It's great. It's fucking awesome. Every time I bomb, I'm like full Boy Scout oath down my throat. Trust. I don't know. I've been thinking about why I am the way I am. Like why I'm this finger-sucking freak. I mean, I don't mean to shame. It's fine. But everything goes back to my parents, I think, and I feel like that's a very normal thing. Like I was looking, yes, exactly. Let's blame mom and dad, why don't we? Fuck them, yeah. But I was looking through this photo album, and I have a twin brother, and I found this photo from our second Halloween. We were 2 years old, dressed up, how cute. And my parents decided to dress him up like the Cookie Monster. And they made me the cookie. And I'm still figuring it out. I just know it fucked me up the rest of my life. He was a biter too. I think that was probably a little inside joke on their part. I don't know if we're getting off on the right foot here. I want you guys, you guys are getting an accurate depiction of who I am. It's just not the picture I want you to have. So I think maybe the quickest way for you to get to know me, I'm in the red light right now. I'm evil. What's up? The quickest way for you to get to know me is if I just run through a very short synopsis of my sex life. I think that's probably how we're going to do it. Thank you. Okay, don't get too excited. There's no visuals, unfortunately. Sam did not allow me to bring my projector, so feel free to just close your eyes and imagine, okay? Starting out in elementary school, I learned what sex was. I feel like it's pretty baseline. And then I went to middle school, okay, and I was 8th grade class treasurer. Thank you. It gets better. I went to high school then, and I was treasurer again, 2-time. Hell yeah, I'm developing a reputation. But this time, for the Latin Club. Now that's cool. How hot is that? I don't want to lead you on, okay? I went to college after that, and it is going where you think it's going, all right? I joined an improv team. I joined an ultimate frisbee team. I think we all saw that coming. I rushed to fraternity. I did indeed. I know. And then, let me go back actually, because you said that. It was an engineering fraternity. I think that's important for all of us to know. Theta Tau. Anyone? Theta Tau? Doesn't matter. They didn't want me. It was harsh. Yeah, when the nerds don't want you, you gotta maybe change schools. After that, pandemic. After that, I turned 20. 6 months after that, I lost my virginity. So it was a steady clip. I thought a lot about it. I entered my mind palace and did a lot of fucking there for a while. And I told people that some people think 20 is a little old to lose your virginity, but you know what? Most people aren't even treasurer once. So those people can just shut the fuck up. Even my older brother, who's like, Blake, sex is a numbers game, and I'm like, numbers is also a numbers game. You can quiet down now. This next character is a country version of Will.I.am. Okay. Well, I'll be! That's that whole joke. Thank you. I love the phrase "baby on board." I just love it. I love the phrase "baby on board" so much I've started using it in my daily life. Like every single fucking day, it's awesome. But like when I agree with something, you know, like buddy, you want to do shots at 11? Baby on board, okay? I'm in. Old Navy's having a BOGO? Baby on board, okay? I'm gonna get me some crew socks. Your barbershop quartet needs a soprano? Baby on board! No, they didn't let me in. They were not on board with Baby, unfortunately. Let's see what other little morsels I have for you tonight. I love Baby on Board. I just like the words, you know. I'm a writer, I think about words a lot. I love the verbiage people use when they're like asking you for money. Like I'll walk around Carytown, people will be like, do you have $1? Right? Like, could you spare some change? But I was walking around this one weekend, and this one guy, he stops me, he goes, do you happen to have $1? Like fate was involved, or something. Or better yet, like he was setting up a magic trick. Like I walk by, he's like, do you happen to have $1? And I'm like, no. And he's like, check again. I live on the magical side of life, you know? Even when that extra dollar doesn't appear, I pretend like it's there. I yes and. Okay. Oh, cool. Let's skip right to the end then. I got the light. I was gonna talk about porn, but you guys, oh, okay. All right, okay. Someone doesn't like self-pleasure. Let's skip porn. Does anyone have like an heirloom they got from their like parents or grandparents after they passed away, like a family heirloom? You're shaking your head no. You can just say, all right, okay. Does anyone have a yes for me? You do? What did you get? You got his Korean War medals. Wow. He's a war vet. You got his medals. You have them like displayed in your house. Was this your a parent or a grandparent? Grandparent. Nice. Wow. I was playing Scrabble with my parents a couple of weeks ago, and I won. I'm not bragging. Okay. I play for the love of language. I do, but I won. And my mom, as soon as I won, she took a Sharpie. She turns the box over. She writes my name on it. She writes Blake Carlson, full name, first and last. She goes, when we die, this is yours. I don't think Ian was gonna fight me for the family Scrabble. I think that was probably spoken for, but I was like, what if this is a message from my mother to me? It's just like something that she's trying to tell me, you know, like whenever her and my father die, and like God forbid, like 200 years, let's throw a number out. And I'm like missing them. I'm like crying. I've got Scrabble out. I'm like, oh. I'm like writing their names in the tiles. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And I take those numbers. And those numbers are the key to my dad's safe. And then I open my dad's safe, right? And there's 4 Yahtzee dice. And then those numbers lead me to a storage unit in Buffalo. And then I open up the storage unit. I'm walking in the back. I step on a mouse trap. It's just a mouse trap. I get to the back. In front of this wood-paneled wall is like a trouble board, right? And I press on the trouble bubble. And it goes like, or whatever. And the wood-paneled wall falls. They were Jenga pieces the whole time. And behind it is $750,000 in Monopoly money. And a note at the bottom that just says, sorry! That's life. All right, I'm the Blake Carlson. Give it up your host, Samantha Lukasiewicz.
That's incredible. All right, your next comedian, you guys are in for a real treat. She is from DC, headlines all over, made me practice her last name 3 times. Villamera!
imported from DC. I think it's a wonderful time to be an Asian woman, an immigrant Asian woman, especially the idea that, you know, I could possibly be deported, but I love the idea because who's gonna stop a white man from bringing me back? You know what I mean? Who's gonna stop a white man from bringing all this back to the country that you just kicked me out of? So it's a really good time to be an Asian woman. And I'll tell you guys a little bit more about me so we can become fast friends, right? So my family had immigrated here about 20 or so years ago from the Philippines. Anyone from the Philippines? I knew it. That was a wild and empty question I asked. A very empty question I asked. I knew exactly. It's hard to find Filipinos unless it's in the arms of white men, right? So it's hard to find us in the wild, right? We immigrated here about 20 or so years ago, and my mother at an early age realized that like she couldn't bring every tradition or practice from the old country to this new country, so she raised us with an open mind. And every day I've been really, really thankful for that. But there are some pros and cons to that situation, right? So growing up, she would come up to me unprovoked, and she would go, "Kim, just tell me you're gay. I'm going to love you anyway." Which is super sweet from a Catholic Filipino mom. The true heartache in all of that is that I am ridiculously straight. I know exactly what I look like. I know exactly how I presented. And I was like, that was a fair assumption that she had made, but absolutely inaccurate. And then so there isn't really a Degrassi episode or a rom-com that tells you how to come out straight to your mom. So I'm like what the kids call raw dogging it at this point, trying to figure that shit out. And then so one day it was my sister's birthday, and we went out to eat at a restaurant, and in front of everyone in this restaurant, she looks at me and she goes, "Kim, just tell me you're gay. I'm going to love you anyway." And I was like, I finally had enough. I looked back at my mom and I was like, "Mom, I'm not gay, but if it makes you feel any better, I'm kind of a slut." Thank you. I identify as a slut. That was really brave of me, right? I wish that was the same reaction I got that evening, but abso-fucking-lutely not. My mom was dead ethnic silencing me. And I don't know if you guys know what dead ethnic silence is that your ancestors are rolling in their graves right now, ready for you to come back home. You know what I mean? They're ready. I was like, you done doofed. So 10 seconds of dead ethnic silence, my mom finally looks at me and she goes, "That's okay. I'm going to love you anyway." But here's the thing, not everyone was happy about my lifestyle choice. You can hear my dad in the background go, "I'd rather you be gay." Proving unequivocally you cannot make a single Asian parent happy. I'm living, breathing proof of that. To kind of just segue into dating, this may be like an unpopular opinion, but I love dating short kings. Anyone a short king? Okay, I was like, yeah, brave soul in the back. I won't tape measure it. I won't measure it from there. That's a really brave thing, because I was like, I think women are so obsessed with height, which doesn't make any sense. They're like, oh, but they could reach the top shelf of things. I was like, no, I think people should make shelves that are lower. I think they should make it for the general population. And I was like, if you're dating a man just to reach things, I really need you to look in. I really need you to look in on why you need to date someone to reach things, man. And then so, but here's the big underestimation. I think I love dating short men just because I love to see eye to eye with them, and I just want one less fight because of that. And two, it's the idea that like, I think we underestimate them. I think we don't give them the idea that like, they could be just as disrespectful and as audacious as tall people. I think it should be equal opportunity, right? And then so I'll tell you a really funny story. Before a certain time period, I was at the height of 5'4", right? And then because I went to a chiropractor, I didn't realize that I was hiding an inch of height in my spine because of bad posture and a chiropractor, right? And so he needed out an inch of me, and I became from 5'4" to 5'5". And then so the guy I was dating at that moment was exactly the same height as me for the entire duration of our like dating period. He was 5'4". And then so when I became 5'5", I treated it like I had moved up in a tax bracket. And I like looked at him and I was like, you can't talk to me the way you used to talk to me. I moved up in the world, like literally up. And I was like, okay, I need you to talk to me like I'm different now. And I was like, in the Old Navy website, I'm classified from petite to average height, and I need treatment differently now, okay? And then so he looked at me, not even a single blink. He goes, huh, I never realized our height difference because I've always seen you bent over. I know, that shit was hella disrespectful. You know what I did right after that? I placed that man right back under the bridge I found him under. I returned that man straight to the garden gnome village he lived in. I was like, whoa, that was mad disrespectful. But the truth of the reality is that I kept dating that man for an additional 5 years because as much as I am 5'4", I am also a Southeast Asian woman, and I love me a toxic situation. I love me a toxic ass situation if I've ever seen it. Do you know what's really funny that brought me so much joy when I was watching this show? Is that Sam and someone else, I think maybe it was Chris, they had mentioned Kia Souls, right? Both of you guys drive Kia Souls, right? Here's a fun fact about Kia Souls that I haven't been able to use in like a lot of my comedy sets. The Kia Soul is the choice vehicle for furries. You can Google it. It is the choice vehicle for furries because it is both affordable and can carry a lot in the back. And I was like, wow. Do you know what an extra fun fact is? This is something I've also been exploring with other people in the rooms I've been doing comedy in, is that the Kia Soul is my dream car. Woo! Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. It's my dream. It's been my dream car for 15 years. But one or two of us are furries. He's just a bear. Just a regular bear. But here's the thing. Don't ever tell people your dreams because they will do everything to make you feel bad about them, right? And then so one day it was like, I don't think it was Sam. I was in an Uber that was a Kia Soul. And I was like jittering, excited because this is my dream car. I've dreamed it for like 15 years. Which, side note, to let you guys know, 15 years of dreaming about that car, I'm still not in a Kia Soul. Who do we blame, the economy or my bad choices? The economy, right? Thanks. But I was in this Uber, and I was jittering with excitement, and I look at this lady, and I was like, I'm really excited to be here. This is my dream car. Thank you for letting me be here right now. And I think I might have been drunk. Maybe that wasn't an important factor of the situation. But she just looks at me through her rearview mirror, and she goes, honey, I need you to dream bigger. Right? Oh man, never share your dreams. Never share your dreams with anyone because I won't change it until I get a Kia Soul. And then I'll move up to a RAV4 or a Hyundai Elantra. I don't know. The world is my oyster. I am a type of girl that believes in dreaming within your means. I don't think people should be dreaming for like a Maserati or a Lamborghini. That's crazy. You're always gonna be disappointed. And I was like, no, you're never gonna. You gotta dream within the rightful means. This is where I have the group of people turn on me in my set. Do you guys want to hear my favorite hot take? Yeah! Okay, so one of my favorite hot takes is that I believe that dowries should still exist. Whoa. Yeah, right? Extra hot take. I just turned the tables. I just lost the fan. So I believe that dowries should still exist, not because people should be considered property, right? I just always need the white people to say it louder. I just needed to say it instantaneously and louder. Just, Juneteenth was literally like last week or two, right? And so I believe that dowry should exist not because people should be considered property. I believe that I need a Kelly Blue Book value of standards. So like back in the day, a woman could be worth 10 goats and an acre of land. I want to humbly confess to you guys, because we're besties, right? We're friends, right? I slept with a boy for a 10-piece chicken nugget meal and an unsweet tea. Oh, there was like someone gently going, oh. We're not trauma bonding. The people that cheered the loudest were trauma bonding. They experienced something very similar. I'm going room to room asking if anyone's doing it for less. Anyone a Wendy's 4 for $4? Girlie who was once sad for me. Or are you doing it for less? What's that? Cookout $5 box, a McDonald's $5 meal. Yeah, someone said Popeyes? Yeah, Popeyes $5 box. I love that. I'm here to support you. No one else is gonna understand what we've been through. No one will understand what we've been through. Let's see, what other jokes? I don't know, this has actually been something I've gone through like a majority of my life, is that I actually stereotypically don't look Filipino. I don't know what happened in the gene pool, but there's not really a lot of cases where Filipinos come up and recognize me as like kinship, right? And so that's kind of messed me up for a little bit, realizing that I just turned it off myself. Test 1. Oh no. You said just press it, right?
I did. I'm a liar.
Test 1. Made Sam right! I got you! Oh no, that was a terrible prank. Keep my hands right in the bottom right here. That was crazy. I'll never do that to you again. It was like, so growing up, I always never looked Filipino, and Filipinos always like talk about how I don't look Filipino. And I need to give credit where credit is due. People that are not Filipino can recognize me instantaneously that I'm Filipino. And I'll give you a really funny story. So I went to the gynecologist. Yeah, first time, she was a really nice white lady. She was super, she looks like the type of white lady that says skedaddle, and I love women. I feel safe in the room like that. And then, so it was the first time I ever met this white woman, and she was looking under my hood, looking into my womanhood, and then all of a sudden, 5 to 10 minutes later, she pops up her head and she goes, "Kim, are you Filipina?" And I was like, "Oh, how did you know?" "From my last name, which is Villamera." And she goes, "No, you look Filipina." And I said, "What?" And do you know what's the crazy thing? That's the thing I think what's wrong with Filipinos when they try to identify me, is that they've always tried to look at me with my eyes, when really they should have been looking at my lips. That woman recognized me that I was Filipino based off of my vagina. Right? Is that not the conclusion we all came to? Isn't that crazy? I knew it. Talking about running, I think it's really funny. I actually grew up in Richmond, Virginia. Anyone grew up in Henrico County? Oh, okay, yeah, you hard nah. So I grew up in Henrico County, and it's kind of weird because I always considered myself like the Richmond city kid. Let me just tell you, DC doesn't act by the same city rules. And so I didn't realize how they define city and how they experience a city very differently until I moved up to DC. Let me ask a general knowledge question. When you see a group of people run by you, what's your instinct?
Trip them.
Oh, whoa, that's a different answer. I was gonna say keep running. She's from the bad side of that neighborhood, bruh, she's an instigator. When you are in a city and you see a group of people running past you, you run, ask questions later, right? That's what I've always been told. I was like, don't be like that stupid person in a scary movie. They're like, oh, what's happening? Let me go investigate. No, keep fucking running, right? And so they don't play the same rules in DC. So I was in Adams Morgan after a show, and I see this group of people start running by me, and I'm a good city kid, so I start running by, and I was like, okay, well, if I'm in danger, I gotta ask questions later. And then 3 blocks, dead ass, 3 blocks later, I realized I accidentally joined a DC run club. I was like, damn, this is the recruitment process I didn't expect. Man, now I realize why you're all sweaty and half naked. I need to look more. And I'll end it on this, guys. I think the hardest part about dating is interracial relationships. Is anyone in an interracial relationship? Yeah, I was like, yeah, we don't know what kind of city we're in right now. So I was like, keep that shit to yourself. No. So I think the hardest part about interracial dating is realizing that people grew up with like different ideologies, belief systems, practices, right? I didn't realize how hard it was until I started dating white men. I'll call them a doozy of a type if I've ever seen them. I had to explain a lot of random ass shit to them, right? So like any straight man. I had to explain to them why we take off our shit-filled shoes at the door and never walk through a house, right? Or why we wash our rights. Or why we don't use dish soap as hand soap or body soap, right? Like, you know, classic training, right? And so I didn't realize how hard it was to navigate that until this one situation had come up. And then so I was dating this one white guy, and we were doing normal Tuesday activities, and I was hogtied and blindfolded on this man's bed, right? Normal Tuesday activities. And then so he comes up to my ear, and all I hear is, whoosh, whoosh. And I said, pause, take off the blindfold. He starts to go into this panic, and he goes, are you okay? Do you feel all right? Do you feel safe? All of that. And I said, sir, what are you trying to do? And he goes, I'm trying to scare you with the sound of a belt. And I said, sir, you can't scare me with the sound of brown punishment. I've been hit with a belt, a plastic hanger, a shoe, and at one point a Nokia phone. I have never missed a phone call from my mom since then. Never missed a call, right? And then so I was like, what if I tried to scare you with white mom punishment? Like, we turned the tables on this. What if I had you blindfolded and tied up to your timeout chair? And I go up to your ear and I go, 3, 2, 1.5. 1. Let's talk about how your actions have consequences. Let's talk about how your feelings are valid. And guys, you know what he's gonna get at the end of sex, right? He's gonna get a participation trophy. A thank you for trying. Guys, my name is Villamera. I appreciate your time. Let's bring Sam back up.
Like, honestly, you've been an amazing crowd. We do this show with a new group of comedians the 4th Saturday of every month, so we hope to see you back. Thank you. Good afternoon. All the comedians, please come up to the stage. When someone turns the lights on, we're going to take a photo. Thank you again. Tip your bartender.